Hi, I'm Gohar Vardanyan, and this is a Lessonette for strings by mail. In this Lessonette, I'm going to demonstrate how I practice and drill in difficult passages. A lot of times when we sit down to practice, we just end up playing the same thing over and over again with the hopes that it will get better. Though repetition is important to make sure that we teach our hand the physical skill necessary to execute a passage, how we repeat it is actually more important. Remember that each time we repeat something, we are teaching our hand to do just that. So if you're going to repeat something sloppy, it's going to learn to play it sloppy. Make sure that each repetition is perfect. In order to demonstrate for this video's purpose, I'm going to use the passage in Villalobos Etude number 1, right in the middle of it, that goes like this. So I'm going to use just that much of it. That's short enough where I can remember what happened in the beginning of the passage and at the end of the passage by the time I'm done repeating it. But you can also hone in and concentrate more on a very specific problem area when you're working like this. Just for this video, I'm going to use that entire thing. You're going to need a metronome, so you have a guided progress in time. And this tempos you can keep track of. You can write it down somewhere so you know exactly how much you improved, and you can follow that the next day. Or you can try to remember. Writing down is probably better. I'm going to start at 112. Eighth note equals 112, so that would be 2 notes per beat. Where your starting tempo is, it really depends on at which tempo you can execute something perfectly. If something is slow enough, you will be able to do it right. So don't pick a tempo that's already too fast. Pick a tempo that's slow enough where you can play perfectly. And that could be 40 for each note. That's fine. That just means that that's your starting tempo and you're going to build from that. Don't pick something where you're barely getting it, because the whole point is to teach your hands to get to notes comfortably and accurately. So I'm going to start at 112. Oh, the next thing is to make sure you play it at least 5 times in a row correctly. So not 5 out of 10 times or 3 out of 5 times, but actually consecutively 5 times correctly. If you do it 10 times in a row and only 7 of them are right, that means that there's 30% chance that the next time you do it, it won't be right. And the fact that you got 70% right, it could have been an accident. You have to make sure that each time you do it is within your control, and you're controlling whether you're going to miss something or not. So I stick with 5 times. You can challenge yourself and increase it to 7 or 10 times. To demonstrate, I'm going to do 5, and as I raise the tempo, I'll just drop the repetition so I don't bore you with it. So, first one. You do that, and then evaluate yourself. See, first of all, obvious, did you get all the notes? And the next thing is how comfortably you got the notes. If you're getting them with a bit of panic, that means that's not really a tempo for you, and you have to go down a bit where you're comfortably getting the notes and not panicking to get them. I felt like that was pretty comfortable, so I'm going to play it 4 more times. That's 2. Now, had I played something wrong on, let's say, number 4, my count would have gone to 0 and I would have had to start all over again, just to make sure that I can actually do it 5 times in a row. Then you move up a tempo. I would recommend only using 1 notch. So if you're using the old style metronomes, just go up 1 notch, which is 1/16. If you're using a digital metronome, you don't have to go 1 number. You could go 3 numbers up or 2 numbers up. Just don't jump 5 or 10 at a time, because then you're leaving a big gap unpracticed. So I'm going to go to 1/16 and play it again. And again. And so on. down. So I would play it 3 more times, which I won't do now so I don't bore you. And then again, one notch at a time. Let's say I got to a faster tempo, let's say 176, and that would be more challenging, so there is a chance that I might not get it right. Again. See that one? That was not clean. My right hand played the wrong notes. Even though my left hand was in the right place, my right hand didn't pluck right. So even though that was the third one, I would go down to 0 and try again. Not to bore you, I'm not going to do it 2 more times, but that's the idea. Doing it 5 times in a row, or making yourself do it 5 times in a row, also makes sure that you concentrate on each repetition, because you know that if you don't pay attention and something happens, all the hard work you did to, let's say, get it 4 times right will be erased and go down to 0. So it makes sure that each repetition you're involved in it, and you're not just playing it hoping that your fingers will get it. So this is one way that I like to drill in difficult passages. In other videos, I will go into different techniques for practicing in different kinds of passages and how to use a metronome. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.